I have a 3D, not a 3D printed. I have a Baby Yoda mask somewhere.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It says
Yoda.
this is the good side. Or this is my good side.
That's really cute. Okay, so right. This week we want to have some first time demos, and I think we're going to have some second viewings as well. I know that I think Aubrey's team and Sam's team, I'm just saying those two names because I can see their videos, are going to be demoing for the first time. So depending on what this week is looking like, maybe Wednesday and Thursday for sure. Blake, I can see you too now. Blake's like, I'm on the team as well. So maybe we start with Aubrey, Blake, and Matt to see where you guys are at, if you need any help with the testing yet, and whether we can get like a second round of that demo in.
Yeah, so we met this morning, and Aubrey had incorporated a few new things with Quentin on Friday, I think. And so that has kind of introduced a bunch of changes that we have to make to our testing. Okay. So we're kind of working on that. We did have a couple questions. Aubrey was able to get the review screens to work, so where you edit information that you had previously entered in the form.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of unsure the extent to which we were supposed to test.
And how to test that. Michelle, do you have any experience with that? I'm not sure. I haven't ever tested a review screen before.
I mean, you do the same kind of thing, right? You go, you edit some information, you see if it changed in the interview and if it changed in the PDFs.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And we were basically coming up with, 2 or 3 different like behaviors for each thing. What we were also wondering is, could we combine those if they're not like codependent? Like if one thing doesn't affect the other thing, can you do those in multiple, in the same scenario?
So I think Michelle actually spoken to this, but this is going to get into the weeds now. So perhaps we could, Michelle, this is kind of the idea of you don't have to have separate tests for every little aspect that you want to test. You can kind of amalgamate them into maybe one test. But I think this is something that is going to have to be an off meeting call.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets like, like it's good to discuss kind of and wrap your head around. Yeah, an off meeting call. We can do that.
Okay. So I mean, we were leaning towards yes on all those things. We just wanted to verify before we went and kind of built it all out, and then we're wrong about it. So so that's why we were asking. And then the other thing is we need to have our form sent to the court, because I know you mentioned that you kind of send it in tandem with doing the testing. So we weren't sure how to pursue that.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that, David, maybe at the management meeting today and see which forms are going to get sent this week. And I think maybe a second review would be necessary prior to sending it to the court. So kind of the things that you guys have incorporated after speaking with Quentin and after having your initial review. So perhaps we could have that first, and then just depending on what order we want to send these to the court, because I know another one that we were thinking of sending was the generic motion family law. So we'll talk about that in the management meeting and then ping you guys afterwards and just let you know. Cool. What's your week looking like in terms of availability, say after stand-up, or from 1:45 to 1:15?
I know I'm available. I don't want to speak for the other two, but for the most part, we're on after stand-up till 5 most every day.
Could you just ping me and just confirm that in our channel, in our chat?
Yes.
Just so that I can confirm that we can put you guys into demo in a time that's going to suit everybody.
Cool. That sounds good.
Good job, guys. I'm excited to see the review screens. That's a really exciting aspect. Okay, Sam, Eric, and Mark, how are you guys doing?
We are doing great at the moment. After Friday, Michelle and I workshopped through all the loops, and we've got them working. We had a call this morning to just kind of divvy up a lot of the work, and that's probably going to be done by the end of the day. I scrubbed through all the rest of our code and figured out everything that wasn't showing up in the PDF, and also got that working, so that's a 2-for-1. And yeah, we're going to meet later today and just kind of recheck in with how the progress is, and we'll be ready to go soon.
So this is going to be the first time that you are showing us your interview.
Yes.
Teaching Tuesday this week is a free for all. Am I correct? Or are we doing something specific? Free for all. So why don't we have that demo say on Wednesday? Because it's the first one, it's going to take a little bit longer. We will refrain from making language edits, but just seeing the logic and stuff. And I think we are getting quicker at that. I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, let's try for Wednesday. From say whenever we finish stand up, 1:45 to 10 to 1, and do it then. And if you guys have any questions for coding, you can ask them on Tuesday at the stand up, so that anything can get ironed out prior to that demo. Okay.
Sounds good.
Or in the channel. That's also okay.
You don't have to wait until Tuesday.
No, you don't.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Michelle. Yeah, that's a good reminder. Okay. Right, Mia and Vinny, how are you guys doing? That was one of the forms that I was hoping we might be able to get off, because you're quite far down the demo process. We've had quite a few looks at it.
Yeah, so I think we could do another demo this week. I don't think it would be long, just because we've implemented the same type of make changes thing that Aubrey has, and then we just sent out on the testing channel that we are doing our second round of testing. But then I would need to, after like running the new testing, like after running the new make changes part of our
review screens?
Interview, but yeah, they're I'm saying, yeah, review screens, that's what I mean.
Okay.
But it's like the make changes button.
Yes.
And yeah, so after doing that, then I'd have to write tests for that. So I think I would want to hop on that call that Michelle was talking about.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah.
If you guys could jump on the call with Aubrey, if you guys could link up the review screen testing aspect, if you two teams could link up with Michelle on that call, I'm also happy to jump in. I'm just not as au fait with the testing of the review screens, but I am happy to contribute where necessary. So maybe just, if you could just, somebody could just ping, we want Aubrey, Blake, Matt, Mia, Vinny, and Michelle and myself in that call, please. Michelle,
we can put it in the testing channel, and then whoever wants to join.
Even better.
Join,
Much
right?
better suggestion. Okay. So we just make a thread off there with our availability.
Right.
Okay, and then we've got, sorry?
No, I was just gonna ask, as far as a demo, when would I do that?
So I think that, like, as I said, the demos get shorter and shorter each time the demo occurs, right? So I'm hoping, have you had like a plain language review from Caroline?
I haven't. I actually reached out to her this morning, and I was thinking about meeting with her tonight. So
okay, perfect. I think that's definitely something that we want done before the next demo, because they will be able to, like, verifiably be able to comment on plain language, because surely there shouldn't, by that stage, if Caroline's already reviewed it, there shouldn't be any plain language issues. So what I'm thinking is, for the second, I'm hoping perhaps we could do a Thursday where we have Mia and Vinny, and then Aubrey, Blake, and Matt. So we do a double one, but maybe half an hour each.
That works for me.
Okay. I know you've got that
yeah.
MPRE.
MPRE.
When are you writing that exam?
It's not a written exam, but it's next Wednesday.
Okay, so we just need to be conscious of that as well. So if we could do half an hour on Thursday with you guys and half an hour on Thursday with Aubrey, and because it's a later demo, whereas Sam, Eric, and Mark, it's going to be, I think, rather a longer one, because it's the first time that we're seeing this, and we know how you guys just love to give feedback. So it's thanks for unmuting yourself, Caroline. I like to hear that. So that's that, and then we have Sam and Eric and Mark on the Wednesday, and as I said, Tuesday is free for all. As Michelle said, you can message in the channel for coding questions, but know that it's a office hours essentially. You can come in and ask for assistance. Okay, and then we've got Eleni and Jason and James. Just you guys.
Hello.
Hi.
So we figured out the bug that we've been having. All our test cases, whatever, are complete, and we're waiting for the next steps, and also to figure out when we're going to I'm forgetting how to talk, but to
demo. It's going to be your first time that you're going to be showing us your interview, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to figure out a time for that. And I'm conscious of pushing it too far back because we are running into kind of the weeds here. We're running into, you know, where school's going to start again, and we want to kind of get these as far along as possible. So I'm wondering if maybe we can try and schedule a time on Tuesday or something, but we are going to have the management meeting after this. And I'm just going to make a note here that this is something we need to raise, and see if maybe, you know, if you guys are maybe available on Tuesday, if we could try and do something after stand-up, after Teaching Tuesday. If that works for you guys.
Yeah, I think that should work.
Okay. I'll message you after we have that meeting just to see what everyone's availability is like.
Sure.
Okay. And how's the testing going? You said it's all passed.
Yeah.
Well, it's brilliant. Congratulations, guys. So maybe we
Easy breathing.
So just to remind you, guys are doing the complaint for contempt?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Right. Civil action cover sheet. I did some work on it this weekend. Lance and I are just trying to work out a couple of bugs. David, I meant to ask you, I completely forgot. If you could just either thank the subject matter expert for me or give me his email so that I can draft him a letter. I
Will do.
Forgot. I feel terrible because he was so generous with his time, and then I was like, okay, cheers. Thanks. So, okay, that's the one thing I wanted to mention. And then hopefully we'll be ready as well, and maybe we can fit in another slot later on in the week, maybe a pre-casual Friday. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Is there anything else that anybody needs to mention? As I said, we're in August now, guys, so start of school is coming up for those of you who will be returning, online, you know, as it may be. But we are just aware of the fact that this is kind of, you know, going to headed to a transition phase. And we want to try and kind of think about how this is going to look, and so that we can have as seamless a handover as possible. And for those people who are going to be staying on, how, you know, we're going to structure that. So just kind of bear that in your minds as you're going through these next 2 or 3 weeks. And
you should all consider signing up for either Quentin or my classes, because at least for those classes where we have project component, we've both committed to allowing people to work on this project as part of their final project if they would like. Don't have to, but if you would like.
I want to say, Aubrey, you've already signed up for the class, right?
I actually have to message you, David, about joining Lit Lab because
sorry.
Well, no, I'm already in one of his classes, so I'm going to go for the doubleheader.
Okay, so Michael's doing that as well. He's doing.
Oh yeah, he's not on the school. Yeah. Okay, so Mike and Aubrey. Okay, perfect. I mean, it's gonna be nice to see a couple of familiar faces on. We're gonna miss you other guys so much because stand-up won't just be the same without all your.
I'll just say, if you just have a 2-credit spot somewhere and you want some time, you can get credit for doing all this fun stuff that you already know how to do well. It looks like that will be a sliding 2 to 3 credit option. So if you have a spot that size, let me know.
You can ace it.
Is there a deadline for when?
A drop period, so that first week.
Okay.
And the class I'm teaching is the legal tech for small firm practice. So that one also has a project component, which is about half the grade, and people can definitely use the assembly line for that.
Yeah, so
I think I have 6 slots left. So 12 people signed up so far, 6 slots left.
I'm sorry, timing's so hard. There are 3 classes to think about. There's the class Quentin just talked about. There's coding the law, which is the class I teach. And then there's the lab, which you can take either with Quentin's class or with my class, or we'll just waive the prerequisites because you all are wonderful. That one, though, the lab, is going to be just working on stuff. So it'll be a lot more of the same, although you get more time with Quentin and I.
Yeah, more FaceTime. And I must say, like, coming from a law school that did enough of these kind of things, really, this is the kind of opportunity that I would emphasize. I mean, you've had some great experience on this project so far, but kind of getting exposed to this sort of thing is not something that everyone in law school gets an opportunity to do. So really just to consider that. Okay, I've taken up enough of you guys' time. We're going to have our management meeting, and I'm going to ping the necessary people afterwards. I think that's going to be Eleni, James, and Jason. And then also, I can't remember who that I was supposed to write it down, but I can't remember. Oh, there was a testing thing. So if you guys can just message in the testing channel, one of those people from Blake, Matt, Aubrey's team, Mia, Vinny's team, to talk about testing the review screens. Okay. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Maeve.
Bye.